So you're ready to lift your truck and you have everything covered, or so you think. A lift kit can completely transform your rig, both on the road and on the trail. But here's the thing, I've seen a lot of people make the same mistakes when they do their first lift. And trust me, these mistakes can cost you money, ruin your ride quality, and sometimes even make your truck unsafe. So in this video, we're gonna be breaking down the top 5 beginner mistakes when installing a lift kit and how you can avoid them. The first mistake is not doing enough research before buying a kit. Whether you're looking at a leveling kit or a lift kit, not all lift kits are the same. What works for someone else might not be right for you. For example, a simple spacer lift is cheap and easy, but it doesn't improve suspension travel or handling. This might work for a daily driver that doesn't see much terrain, but if you're looking to off-road, then a coilover or full suspension lift will ride better and give you more performance, but it's more expensive. I can't tell you how many times I've heard someone say, I wish I would have just spent a little more the first time. So take your time, read reviews, check forums, and figure out what kind of driving you'll actually be doing. Daily driving, towing, off-roading, the right lift kit depends on your goals. Big lifts and huge tires look awesome, but the bigger you go, the more problems you'll run into. Tires rubbing, driveline angles, fuel economy, braking, turning radius, everything is affected. I've seen people jump straight into a 6-inch lift and 37s only to realize they can't daily drive it comfortably anymore. My advice, start smaller. A 2 to 3 inch lift with 33s or 35s is usually more than enough for off-roading and still keeps the truck practical. You can always go bigger later once you know what you're doing. And when you're ready, you can start to make sacrifices like cutting your bumpers and body mounts or hammering in your wheel wells. The second mistake is forgetting about supporting components. When you lift your truck, it's not just about springs and shocks. Sometimes you'll need extended brake lines, sway bar relocation brackets, or upgraded upper control arms. Without them, you can run into binding, stress on ball joints, or even worse, losing your braking performance. Think of it like this. A lift kit is the foundation, but the supporting parts are what make it safe and reliable. If you're budgeting for a lift, set aside some extra cash for the small things that keep everything working properly. The third big mistake is not accounting for extra weight. When you add a lift kit, you gotta think about what else is going onto your vehicle. Heavy steel bumpers, a winch, skid plates, roof racks, even a full overland setup. All of that adds a lot of weight. And here's the problem. Most basic lift kits are designed around a stock weight vehicle. So if you throw a couple hundred extra pounds up front, those new springs can sag, your ride height won't be what you expected, and your suspension performance will suffer. The fix? Be honest about how you plan to use the truck. If you know you're adding armor, a winch, or carrying gear full time, look for lift kits and springs rated for constant load. A little planning up front will save you from having to redo the suspension later. The fourth mistake that we see is not tightening bolts to spec and not checking them later after you install the kit. Suspension parts aren't close enough kind of parts. They need to be torqued correctly. That means using a torque wrench and following the manufacturer's numbers. And here's a pro tip when doing that. When installing the bolts, use a marker to draw a line from the bolt to the mating surface. After about 500 miles, go back and recheck everything. If the mark doesn't line up, then you know something came loose. A lot of beginners forget this step, but suspension hardware can settle in after driving, and things loosen up. Some vehicles may lose bolts on the highway because of not rechecking hardware, and that is the kind of mistake that can end an off-road trip real quick. The last mistake, and probably the most important one, is skipping the alignment. We see people all the time asking if they need an alignment afterwards. Anytime you lift a vehicle, you're changing your suspension's geometry. That means your alignment is off the moment your truck hits the ground. If you drive it like that, you'll wear out your tires super fast, your steering will feel sloppy or crooked, and over time, it can even damage suspension and steering parts. So, here's the rule. Once the lift is on, schedule an alignment right away. And honestly, don't cheap out. Go to a shop that knows trucks and off-road vehicles. A proper alignment can completely change how your truck feels after the lift. So those are the top 5 beginner mistakes when installing a lift kit. Just make sure that you do your research, budget for the extra parts, plan ahead, check for extra weight, check your hardware and torque specs, and do not skip the alignment. If you avoid these mistakes, you'll save yourself a lot of time, money, and frustration, and you'll actually enjoy your lift instead of regretting it. Now I want to hear from you guys. Have you ever made one of these mistakes? Or Or maybe you've seen someone else learn the hard way. Drop your story in the comments and we would love to read them. And if this video helped you out, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button for more Toyota content and also off-road content or even content like this. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.